All right, so welcome to the second part of this week's lab assignment. I'm going to demonstrate here how to use the Tableau public web authoring tool to ingest that CSV file we created in the prior step based on the data we downloaded from the World Bank Development Indicators data catalog. And now we're going to use that to create a quick map. So I've logged into my Tableau public. I'm going to come on over here and scroll over create and then click on web authoring. I'm going to navigate to that file I created on my computer. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Tableau is going to do a little bit of processing on that data. It's going to decide what things are. It's going to, identify some things as geography, which is great. If I click update now, I can get a quick view of my data. Okay. I can come on over here and I can see what type of field things are identified as by clicking on it here. Okay. I can change the data type if I wanted to. I could duplicate fields, all sorts of different things. So the first step in really effectively using Tableau Public as a tool is to understand how data is stored and utilized. Now, Tableau Public is a free resource, so you have a limited amount of bandwidth and storage. So we created a relatively small extract of data. We've only got 266 rows, roughly 15 columns. And we've got a very discrete extract. So I'm going to actually go create that extract right now. If you're doing this and it takes longer than a minute or two, your data is probably too big for Tableau Public, and you might want to rethink filtering it a little bit. All right, so once it's done, it'll say extract creation is complete. Basically what this means is I've uploaded that data to Tableau server, which is where it's sitting currently as a materialized extract on a data stage, so that I can utilize it more effectively than connecting all the way to my computer and then through my computer to the folder that this is stored in on OneDrive. All right, so I could rename things if I wanted to here as well. I'm not going to for the moment. I'm going to click on sheet 1 and I'm going to take a look at this data really quickly. So you have had some videos for Tableau for this week, but just kind of as a brief refresh, this is my stage, if we will, right here. This is my canvas that I can use to create a data visualization. Over here on the left-hand side are my variables or my indicators that are available. I have my marks here, which are going to, in a minute, we'll see how we use these to shape our visualization. I can create filters, I can do analytics, and I can think of this rows and columns as the traditional sort of XY axis. So to start, I'm just going to double click on country name. And what this does is it allows Tableau to pull for each identified country, in this case Canada, the information and show me, yep, it's here on the map. So if I've got a dot, that means that I've got a data point on it, which is great. If I come on over here to this Show Me tab up here, I'll see what's available to me. Now, if I were to click on this traditional data set, I would just see right here, the list of country names. And then, for example, if I wanted to know what the land coverage is as a percent in 2021, I would pull it over here. Now, one thing I actually need to address is that currently this data point is being seen as a dimension, not a measure, and this data is actually a measure. So I'm going to just select all of it and drag it and drop it down here. I'm then going to clear this and just do it again real quick. By selecting that, and then I'm going to drag it over here, and that's perfect. Okay, so now what I've got here in this sheet, which I'm going to really quickly rename, is 2021 forest coverage as percentage of overall land area. Okay, I'm going to center this, apply it, click OK. All right, so for each country, I have a percentage, which I could actually click on this right here and say format number and change this to a percentage if I wanted to. No, but don't want to do that. I'm going to click back on automatic and I'm going to create a custom number. and instead just add my own percentage at the end, because otherwise it's going to multiply it by 100 and screw me all up. All right, so I just made this simple edit so that this data is a little bit more easy for me to understand. So this is just one way of looking at the data. Now for each country, I can see in 2021 how much forest coverage there was. Now, actually, I want more information. So I'm going to just start double clicking all of these so that they all end up here on my table for every year that my data is available. So I actually don't need all of these. I'm going to get rid of this, so I only have my 5. So from 2021 to 2017, I now have the total forest area for each country. So if I'm looking at this really quickly, I do see some slight decreases that I'm seeing. Some of them, it just stays steady. Others, you're seeing decreases. So it does look like I'm going to be able to show some information here. Now, this table may be very helpful for me in the way it is. So I'm just going to actually just really quickly rename this. I'm going to say this is country by land cover last 5 years as a table. Okay. Just going to leave it there. It's helpful for me. Now you'll see that only this number has been changed. So I could go in here really quickly and make sure I just format this so that it all looks consistent as a visualization when I go to pull it later. But this is just me spending some time getting used to the data, making some slight tweaks to how it shows up in my visual space. You know, I may say actually that having 2 decimal points is too much. Maybe I only want 1 decimal point, because that to me is a little bit cleaner, and I actually do like that more. So you can do some of that. Change here. I could add a decimal place if I needed to